Hello everyone, this is Darwell20 and welcome to episode 39 of Darwell20's Let's Play series. Today, cleaning up my to-do list of things I had to make. Yeah, that's pretty actually, yeah, I'm done. I made all the things. Today I want to expand my miner. So I've made a few minor tweaks to it between episodes. First off, I added another solar panel back here. It will not move with this layout because I've glued it in the appropriate way. But I noticed that when it's raining, you get less than optimal sunlight levels. So you get like 50-ish%, which wasn't enough to keep this thing going. However, if I have two, they're able to keep up. So basically, yeah, two solar panel tier 5s is enough to keep this thing going. Now, in fairness, I could have made it tier 6, but whatever. I already had it. Remember, I made two of these because they make two at a time. So yeah, no biggie. And then this thing is doing a great job mining stuff. I also added a laser node here because remember, for whatever reason, adding things to ender chests does not work on contraptions. I'm not sure why. I would expect that it would, but it doesn't. So the gist is here that there's a laser node that connects to a diamond chest, right? So then if we move this whole contraption forward, right, and then allow this thing to run, right, everything that is getting mined gets collapsed into that diamond chest. And then once it comes back up, it'll get dumped in there via laser IO, right? And then that's pretty cool, right? So it unfortunately takes a really long time to mine all the way down to bedrock. So, what we're going to do is expand the number of drills that we have. So my plan is to have like a really large number of drills. So moving forward one block takes like a few seconds, right? Mining down to bedrock takes like a minute. So what if we did like a 9x9, because that's a cool number, of drills, right? And then we could mine a 9x9 area at once, and then move forward 9 blocks, right? Which will only take a few seconds, and then do it again. So it'll take a long time to get all the way to bedrock, but we will clear it out a 9x9 by, you know, whatever deep area in that minute or two. And as you, I mean, it doesn't take terribly long, right? We're already halfway there. I've been talking for like, I don't know, 30 seconds, and it's there. So it takes about a minute to get all the way down to bedrock, and that's a variable speed based on what blocks it's breaking. As you can see, the block toughness definitely has an effect on the drills, right? So when we get down to this stuff, for example, the deep slate area and some of the more, and especially if we hit like obsidian, it would take even longer, right? But you know, it's fine, right? So it's definitely slower once we get to deep slate, right? And then you'll notice there that that block takes a few seconds longer. Copper will take a few seconds longer than the regular deep slate, right? Tough is faster because tough is easier to break. So the block hardness definitely has an effect on this. No big deal. So the gist being that if we expand this out a whole bunch, right, the slow part is the mining. But if we mine many blocks at once, it won't be that slow no more. And that could be cool. The other thing I wanted to test out was having a waystone on here. I'm not sure how waystones are going to react to being moved, but we could try it. Is that cool? Waystone should be miner thingy. Okay. And let's make sure our super glue is including the whole of this block, right? So if I do this to this, hopefully that'll move everything just fine. And as you can see, we have many glued pieces together, right? Like this, all I did to attach these was say from here to here, and then that's cool, right? And then these guys are this little 4 space here. So you can super glue really in a lot of different ways, which is super nice. Super nice super glue. Yeah. So how are you doing? You cool down here? You almost there? Almost. Yeah. Getting to bedrock. It takes probably about 2 to 3 minutes to mine all the way down. But I feel like we could get a lot of stuff that way, right? I'm not sure, when it gets to the bottom, I don't think it turns into blocks. I don't think we can see what's inside this chest. Oh, we can see what's inside the chest. Okay, that's cool. I'm really shocked that you can see that. How does that even work? I don't even know. I have no idea how that works. How do you work? Cool. So we can see what's there, right? I find that leaping is way faster than jetpacking up. Whee! So we'll want some redstoniness to make this like run for a couple minutes, right? Which shouldn't be too bad. Should be doable. We can use a sequencer or something along those lines to define that. And that should be cool. Look at that go. Hooray. Cool. And then when it gets here, it laser IOs it all out into the ender chest, which should be fine to put everything away. Cool. All right, so now we're going to test out how badly the waystone doesn't appreciate being moved. As usual, I recommend doing a quick backup, just in case you break anything. You know, the backup command runs automatically every so often, but whenever you're doing something that you're like, I wonder how badly this is going to break stuff, do a backup. Never hurts. And then once that backup's run, we'll move the platform forward, and then I'm going to find out if the waystone here behaves in a good way, right? While that's doing its thing, what do we got by way of you? So you're that, right? Okay, cool. And then you're that. Okay, good deal. So I'm basically going to want a 9x9. So let's move this forward one. That did not move forward, did it? It did not. Do you have like one of those Forge no movie thingies? Yeah, he does not want to push forward now that I've added the waystone. It may not be a thing we can do. So now you should be... See, now we're moving. Cool. Okay, well, that works. So let's do a 9x9, right? So if this is the center, right? Is it the center? It's kind of the center. There's not really a center, but it's kind of the center, right? So that's that. So we would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that what that is? Did I go too far on this side? I might have gone too far on this side, right? This is supposed to be the center. Okay, yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you would be there, right? So now what I might wind up doing is just whacking that whole glue bit. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect, right? So then how about a little bit of build to me action going on? This should work. What if we did 9? Would that be cool? Right, because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. The jetpacks are fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. That's what I would like to see. And then if we build to me, boop, 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 boop. Nice. And then I should be able to do these. Is that going to work correctly? It does look like it, right? That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. That's looking pretty good. I'm liking that. And then we can just super glue from you all the way to here. Okay, so now we're positioned forward, right? So now if I do this, let's see if this works. Oh, hello. That's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty cool. Now, there's nothing saying we can't do more than 9x9, right? I don't know what the limit is. I assume there's a limit. I don't know what it would be. Now, we're definitely going to have a problem with chests. Oh, look, it's called a moving diamond chest. That's kind of cool. So there's definitely something going on there where it's, you know. Okay. So we're definitely going to need more than one diamond chest, I think. Yeah, see, that's rapidly. And I'm getting, like, vacuumed back onto that thing a little bit. So we're going to have a problem, and that problem is going to be we're mining too much stuff for a single diamond chest to handle, right? So we got about that far. got about that far before it was too much. Cleaning it all up now. Is that the same? Why does that feel bigger than what moving diamond chest was showing me? That's a different size, isn't it? It absolutely is a different size. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm not sure why that would be. But we should probably figure out two things. One, will the diamond chest actually be allowed to fill up? Like, is this just like a client-side visual thing? Because there's definitely more space in there than that. So I'll let this run all the way to bedrock for a minute. And then we'll come back and we'll see if it got beyond that many things. And if it started spilling once it looks like it's full, even though it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And then what we will probably need to do is have multiple diamond chests with multiple laser IOs vacuuming out of them. What did we run into here? Stella Arcanum. Looks like that just takes a while to break, huh? Yeah, I told you it would be, yeah. All right, cool. Let's come back in a minute and see what that looks like. Cool. So it definitely appears full client side, but it's also not dropping items on the ground as far as I can tell, because I'm not seeing them vacuum into my inventory. So I think that just might be the client versus, you know, the server telling me what's going on. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, I'm starting to get stuff. Starting to get stuff vacuumed in my inventory here. So real quick, I'm gonna remove this card and bring this guy back up, and let's see if he's actually full. I don't want him extracting into the thing just yet. Yep, definitely full. Definitely full. So we're gonna need like at least 2 ender chests, I'm thinking. 2 more, I mean. So let's get 2 more diamond chests. Okay. I'll put you there and you there. Get them all facing the same way, right? And then for glue, I'm going to do from here to here to get those 3 all moving on that contraption. And then I would like some more laser nodes. Now, I'm going for a slightly simpler approach. I'm going to have 3 ender chests with 3 laser nodes, rather than having just, you know, more laser nodes in 1 ender chest. And this should make things a little bit easier, just from the whole moving and reconnecting lasers thing. This way I don't need to have the nodes connected to each other. They should handle being moved, but if they don't need to, it'll be easier for everybody involved. I'm just thinking. So for that, we'll want an ender chest times 2. We're gonna want 2 more of these. Okay. So that would be you times 2. And then you times 2. Okay. And then 2 nodes. See why I wanted flight before I really started going crazy on this? And then from the diamond chest here, we will be extracting. And I should really get overclockers from Laser IO auto crafting. I've yet to do that, and I should. I really, really, really should. But having high-speed overclocking would be cool. And the other thing I want to do is speed these up. But anyway, on the north side, overclockers go here. You're going to extract a stack of tick. Okay? And then for you, you're going to insert. Okay? And then the same deal here. On the north side, you're going to extract a stack of tick. And then for the ender chest, you're going to go there. Okay? And then I believe you can put eyes of ender. You don't have enough, huh? Okay, let's do this. I think it's eyes of ender. Might be wrong. Guess we'll find out. Can't I, like, make this bigger if I eye of ender it? Chest capacity increased to 18. Oh, there you go. So shift click and I have Ender, and it increases the size of that chest color. Is that maxed now? Is that as big as you can get it? I believe is there another way to do that? Which mod is this? Ender Chest, from Ender Chests mod. I'm just gonna see if there's a thing about making it bigger. An Ender Pearl or Ender Eye will add storage space, 3 and 9 slots respectively, up to 27 slots. A Diamond will make it private, an Emerald will make it a team network. Cool. Okay. So I think that's probably as big as it'll get. So that way it just has a larger buffer of stuff that it can transfer in there. So now, in theory, what should happen is as we're mining, okay, we will... It looks like it fills up one chest, and then fills up the next, and then fills up the next. I don't know what order it's in, if that's the order in which I place them, or if it's some other arbitrary order. I have no idea. But that's cool. Right? So we'll let that hit bedrock now, and then we'll be ready to go back up top. And then when it gets there, all 3 chests, assuming that there was anything in the other 2, would wind up emptying. And that would be cool. Okay, so your insert is back. Yes, good. And you're ready to roll. Sweet. So I'm going to assume that you're done by now. And I'm going to assume that you've cleared the bedrock. Yep. Look at that. How cool is that? So that's going to clear a ton of stuff for us all in one go. Sweet. That is super cool. So now I think it would be cool to use a sequencer to get this to move forward 9 times, right? So for that, it should be relatively easy. Oh, don't make me do this. I think I could, if I break you, that should be fine, right? And then we had a sequencer here. And then we put our button here. And what we would do is, when it's resonance, loop the cycle once, ignore further pulses. I think that would be fine, right? So now if we acknowledge that it takes 2 seconds to move forward here, right? Because it's a pulse happens, it moves the block forward, and then 2 seconds later, it moves the next thing forward. What we should do is account for 2 seconds for the next one to go. So let's say it takes 4 full seconds for 1 block space, right? So I'm going to make the delay here be 80 ticks, which is 4 seconds, right? Maybe I should make it 100 to start, just to be safe. So that'll be 5 seconds, okay? So when you receive a redstone signal, pulse on, pulse off, that'll be 1 block. Pulse on, 2 blocks. Pulse on, 3 blocks. 4 blocks. 5 blocks. 6 blocks. 7 blocks. 8 blocks. 9 blocks, right? So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 16, 18, so a sequence length of 18, right? And that'll just run these and then be done, right? So it'll redstone signal, wait 5 seconds. Maybe. Because it'll be on for 5 seconds and then off for 5 seconds. I'm not sure about that. What I could do is a pulse repeater in between them, which I might want to do. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a problem that it stays on for 5 seconds, because I probably just want a pulse, right? I don't want to stay on for 5 seconds. So if we got a there's pulse repeater, and then there's pulse gate for more red. I'm going to go with the pulse repeater from create, because I can only assume that that's going to be more tolerant to being moved. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any brass. What I need to do, and in the near future, will be... Oh, look, I do have some here. Look at that. Is getting those... getting those to behave a little bit more. Getting those auto-craftings working. Okay. So then you're gonna be... So ultimately what I want is a pulse repeater with like a 2-tick delay, right? So it'll just pulse and then that's it. Okay. So maybe what I would have would be like a pulse repeater here with some redstone. Okay, and then we would have our sequencer here, which I think should remember all its settings. And then our button here. Okay, so then it'll when it runs, it'll 2 ticks after it receives a redstone signal. It'll just pulse once, and that'll be it, right? And that should be cool. Let's see what happens. I'm crossing my fingers. That's kind of cool. We could probably make this a little bit faster. I would hazard to say it should be like... Oh, looks like we're forgetting something here. Let's stop you a sec. Yeah, I need to... I forgot to glue these. My bad. We forgot to glue these guys. Cool. So north would be the extract, and south would be the insert, right? And then north would be the extract, and south would be the insert. Cool. And then let's make sure that they are super glued. So I'm just going to remove that one, and I'm going to add that. And that should have them all going together. And then let's throw down this guy. And we're going to make you like... I feel like 60 might be cutting it too close, but we'll go 80 and see how that works out. We could try... We could always split the diff and do 70, right? No harm in that, really. And we'll see if that's too slow. Now, realistically, we've moved 3 blocks forward, so we only really want to go... If we want to be consistent, we want to go 6 blocks. So let's see how this plays out. Ready? Does it feel like we could make it 60? Kind of feels like we could make it 60. I don't know, 70 feels pretty good. Right? So what I'm going to do is break the sequencer in a second once we get over the right position. So one more movement, and then we'll break the sequencer. Okay? Only because I really wanted to line these guys up, right? And then we should be able to mine... Right? Sweet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these insert cards. And I'm going to let this thing mine all the way down. Cool. So that's working, what I would say, that's working really good. Like, really, really good. I'm super cool with that. The only change I want to make now is we want to tie this all together. So that after... it's done moving, it does a thing where, yeah. So we'd want to know when it's moved 9 times, which we could either do with one of these, like a repeater delay thing that's like, you know, a lot of ticks long, or we could do some kind of counter. Yeah. think we could do a counter, right? Isn't there a counter? Does this do what I think it does? Let's find out. Not entirely sure how the counter works, but we're going to find out. The counter can count redstone pulses up to a specified maximum, and when maximum is reached, send out a redstone pulse on its own. That's exactly what I want, right? So what we would do is something like this. Okay? So, like, we would specify the counter to be 9, okay? And then pulse, we're at current 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... And then on the 9th pulse, boom, it emits a redstone signal. Cool. Now, does it stay on? Because I don't love that. I guess we can do it in a way that it doesn't matter if it stays on. Right? I guess we can do it in a way that it doesn't matter if it stays on. But yeah, so we would throw a counter down here, and that would be cool. Now, my redstone is getting a little bit tight. Which makes me a little bit nervous, only because I'm gonna have to finagle some stuff to get this to work as well as I want it to. But yeah, basically we would want to on the 9th pulse, we could do like a wireless dude that triggers over here. That would be cool. That would be a little compacty. And then what? Yeah, we could figure something out with that. So it would probably be a sequencer. Is that what I would want? Because then I could control how long it was on or off for. Could be a sequencer. Could be a sequencer. I do like my sequencers. They're just super nice and handy for all kinds of purposes and uses. Right? That could be cool. So are you done, by the way, or are you still mining? He's getting there. I'm guessing that you might actually be full. And at which point you're like halfway full, and then you should have nothing. Cool. So once we get to the bottom here, we'll see if that third chest has anything in it. And as long as it's not like crazy full, I'll be happy. Okay, so bedrock achieved. Leap our way out. Remember, we removed our insert cards here, so there's no cards in the ender chests, right? So now bring the thing up, and we'll do some kind of timer mechanic for that to figure out like how long to be on, how long to be off. Yeah. That should be cool. Right, so let's see how full these chests got. Right, so that's full. That's pretty full, and this one's not even touched. Which to me means that regardless of the distribution of ores, like, you know, we might hit a like emerald node with like a couple other extra rare things. Doesn't matter. We will never run out of chests on a single motion, right? And then from here, we can insert, insert, insert again. And that feels pretty cool, right? And now you're going to be full, but that's okay. Now, it's definitely possible that some of this stuff is not in drawers, and if that's the case, then it just kind of is what it is. What's going on with my import node back in the overworld? I want to make sure that you are just as fast as can be. Yeah, you got four doohickeys going on, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm sure, like, deep slate isn't in the thing, right? So, like, cobbled deep slate, we have way too much of. And raw copper ore, which we're going to have to process at some point, too, right? But let's get that deep slate out of there. What we should do is throw deep slate into some kind of thing. That should be fine, right? And we can have 4,000 of that. I want to make sure that where's that IO from? There's like the IO port. Yeah, you. I'm going to put you right here, IO port. And then I should be able to take this item out. clean him up. He'll insert everything into here, right? And then take him out and put him in there. And now we should be capped at 4096 on that. Is Tough? Tough probably also wants to be that way. Pretty sure I don't have Tough. So basically anything that's like a ridiculous amount, right? Over whatever value. Cool. And that should be good. Good. That should be cool. Yeah. And then any other ores that we, or blocks that we have like way too much of, we'll eventually do something similar for. Cool. Sweet. All right, so that's pretty neat, I think. So the only other remaining piece here is to add the counter in. And the smart way to play that would be what exactly? We're a little bit too compact here, right? Like a little bit too compact. The smart way to do this would be to just move this whole segment forward a few blocks. Failing that, I could probably do this with another transmitter and receiver. So what I could do is a receiver and transmitter. Just because of, I did back myself into a corner a little bit here. And what we would say is you feed to the counter. Okay. And then you would be a transmitter. That would become channel 3. And then how about we added a block? Well, let me... Right, you don't want to do that, do you? What's my glue have to say about this? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break this block and then put him back. Cool. And then we would have the receiver would be here, and then that's where the sequencer would go in, right? And now all I really need to do to make sure that you guys stay together is something like that. And that should work, okay? So now when you receive your 9th pulse, okay, you're going to be configured, when a resonance signal is received, loop the cycle once, ignore further pulses. Is that right? Yeah, that should be fine. And let's make each one of these squares be like 5 seconds long. Because we realistically want like 2 minutes. Like, let's say like 5 minutes of mining, right? Or roughly 5 minutes. So what we could say is 1200, right? And that would be a minute per square, right? Because it's 60 seconds times 20 ticks a second would be 1200 ticks, would be a minute, right? So like when you receive a signal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on, and then your sequence length would be 6, let's say, and that should be cool. So let's see if I set this up correctly. If I did, everything should move and we should be groovy, right? And then when it's done moving, it should automatically start mining, right? So this pulse should move it forward 9 blocks, mine to bedrock, retract per pulse, right? All right, nope, something broke. Something broke. What broke? So you're all cool. Let's just do like... you to you? Would that be cool? How did that break that? The addition of these two broke things, right? So if I just tried this now... Nope, the addition of those did not break things. What broke things? I broke something, didn't I? I definitely did. I'm gonna have to figure out what's broke. Give me a sec. Alright, for some reason it was this stuff that was over here. Broke it. So let's see. If I throw a redstone dust there, is that a problem? And then let's do our counter. Okay. Wrong sequencer. There you go. Right. Interesting. Why don't you want to move that guy? Huh. Because your redstone and your counter are in the link. Might be because that redstone dust is touching that. I think that's what it is. Might be. It might be that it's affecting the gear shift here. The redstone dust is messing with the receiver. Okay, so I'm guessing that's what it is. If I made you glass, you wouldn't transmit redstone, right? You're done? Okay, cool. But redstone can still sit on you, right? And then counter. See if that works. That works. Cool. All right, so how far did we get? We need to go 3 more blocks forward. So let's make sure that the sender works here without a problem. Transmitter. Okay. And then we should have no problem adding you, and you'll be the receiver. And then the sequencer that's really long, right? Cool. Wrong sequencer. Which means that you're the wrong sequencer. Boop. And boop. Cool. Okay, that should be good. That should be good. All right. And then we'll be testing, right? And what are you at, counter? You're at 1. Okay, that's fine. We'll get you reset. My bad. As soon as I clicked the button, I realized I forgot it. So then you to here should be cool. Okay. And now everybody should be moving. Good. That's working. And then that should reset you. And now you're ready to run, right? So what you would do, let's simulate that by putting just a button here. So like, let's pretend the counter fired his pulse, right? And we'll do that with a lever. Well, maybe not a lever. What if I did it like this? right? So now you are on step 0. So you're going to take a full minute for step 0 to occur, aren't you? And then after 1,200 ticks, so a full minute from now, you'll go to step 1. That's annoying. I might want to change how that works a little bit. Anyway, let's wrap up the episode here, and I'll fiddle with this a little bit more between episodes, but the pieces are there, right? Like, we get the gist now. That's working. That should be fine. And then when we come back next episode, we can see it in full working action. Cool? Because now it's just a little bit of fiddling. All right, for now, wrapping up point. Darryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let's come back next time to get this finally finalized. But yes, once this hits like a full minute, there it goes, right? Now it's going to go mine, right? So the only problem is the sequencer starts at step -1. Step 0 is an off, and it has to go that full 1,200 ticks before it starts step 1. I might just change that. All right, for now, Darryl20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.